Here, I spent years working for Republicans on the House Oversight Committee. I know how investigations are supposed to work. I know what congressional oversight is supposed to look like. This is not that. This is a deliberate effort, a partisan effort, to try and interfere and obstruct in ongoing investigations so that they can acquire information which they will certainly just turn over to Donald Trump and give him a leg up as he tries to mount a defense against what we expect will be a pending indictment. And it's just a flagrant abuse of power here, Joy. I mean, listen, congressional oversight is about looking at the federal government. It's about looking at what resources are being used, what taxpayer resources are being used at the federal level, and ensuring that there's no waste, fraud, abuse, mismanagement going on. Looking at a Manhattan DA or any DA's investigation at this level before the investigation's even concluded, before charges have even been filed, before a grand jury has taken action, is not the purview of a congressional oversight committee. What's going on right now is an embarrassing abuse of power and major damage to the separation of powers that we're supposed to have in this country.
Yeah, I thought they were tenthers. I guess they ain't tenthers no more. Let me read you Kevin McCarthy's tweet, because he's a particularly pernicious faker, or maybe he's not faking. This is what he tweeted. They were in Orlando at like newly DeSantisized Disney World, and he at a retreat. And he tweeted, DA Bragg has, quote, different rules for political opponents. Then he added this like really gratuitous like little dog whistle bit. Republicans stopped the radical D.C. crime law, and we will investigate any use of federal funds that are used to facilitate the perversion of justice by Soros-backed DAs across the country. Oh, that's a little anti-Semitic, because, you know, when they say Soros, they mean Jewish.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going back to their greatest hits playbook here. Notice how nobody in the Republican Party has anything to say about the actual crimes that Donald Trump is about to be charged with. They don't have anything to say about the criminal activity, alleged criminal activity that Trump and his campaign engaged in. They want to just blow right past that and go back to their greatest hits rhetoric, try to make this about something that isn't, to gaslight all of us. And I just don't think it's going to work, Joy. I just think this is a tired old playbook that we've seen time and again, and all the while, you know, we've seen now the American people, they don't care about these Republican baseless witch hunt masquerading as investigations. They want their lawmakers to focus on stuff that actually matters to them in their day-to-day lives. The fact that Republicans are at this retreat right now, which, by the way, is probably being paid for with taxpayer dollars, and brainstorming ways that they can now act as the legal defense entity for Donald Trump to act as the opposition research department for the Trump legal defense team, is an egregious waste of taxpayer dollars and, in my opinion, a violation of the oath of office they're supposed to take.
You know, there's been an interesting drama in Florida over how long it was going to take Ron DeSantis to actually weigh in. He was pretty quiet. And then Nikki Fried, the Democratic chairwoman, maybe the best Democratic chairwoman they've had in a while, trolled him for it on Twitter. And then he went, I got to say something. Here's what he said.
I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, you know, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda.
I noticed he said porn star hush money twice. So did Donald Trump. This was Donald Trump's response. Ron DeSanctimonious will probably find out about false accusations and fake stories in all caps sometime in the future as he gets older, wiser, and better known, when he's unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman, even classmates that are underage, or possibly a man. I'm sure he will want to fight these misfits just like I do. And that is over a picture that allegedly from Midas Touch of Ron DeSantis with some teenagers when he used to teach high school, partying with them. Thoughts?
It's just a race to the bottom on the Republican side, Joy. First of all, you notice how when people of color are being murdered by law enforcement, Republicans have nothing to say about our justice system. But the minute that a white billionaire who has a lot of power is brought to scrutiny, all of a sudden, well, our justice system is unfair. It's inequitable. I mean, it's amazing to find this out, this great epiphany, Joy, that law enforcement may not be on the up and up, according to the Republicans, all of a sudden right now. Ron DeSantis, though, he's trying to have his cake and eat it, too. And I've said this for a long time. If any of these Republicans want to be successful in toppling Donald Trump, you're not going to be able to do so doing it halfway. You can't, on one hand, try to kind of give him a little slap across the face, but on the other, pander to his voters, pander to his base, try to cover for him and make him out to be innocent. That's not going to work. You got to go all in, or you're going to find out, just like Scott Walker, just like Ted Cruz, just like Marco Rubio, just like Jeb Bush did, it don't work.